Good afternoon, this is Manjusha Radhakrishnan from Gulf News. I'm the entertainment editor. Today we have Indian actor Kunchacko Boban, who's enjoying the success of his latest psychological thriller called Bougainvillea in Dubai. And I saw you in a very different avatar, I have to say. He was known as the chocolate boy of Malayalam cinema, and then he did a complete U-turn on us. Perhaps you need to tell us. Bougainvillea really took me by surprise, and your troubled role.
So happy to hear that and know that even you and the audiences seeing the movies are accepting in that sense. Like the romantic hero chocolate image tag has been haunting me for like years, maybe decades and all. So, getting off from that image and doing different kind of roles which excite people, entertain people, and keep them guessing what is going to happen next, that gives me the kicks. And I'm enjoying that freedom, that new leash of life I'm having in the filmdom these days.
I know. I have to tell you, he started his career with a movie called Anyati Pravu, which was like the most romantic movie. It ruined romance for us forever. So the movie just said, even if you fall in love, if you don't have your parents' consent, you can't be happy. I'm telling you. And everybody who fell in love against parents' wishes were like, boy, why would you do that to us?
I had to rethink and go back to the parents again and ask for their consent and come back and love again, fall in love again. Thoughts and people's likes differ from ages to ages.
Right.
Those days, maybe later on, people might think that was a bit cringe, like cliche things happening. But then even nowadays, we go and try out different kinds of movies with varied ideas and daring ideas. Maybe that will feel like a cliche thing maybe after 5 years or 10 years.
True.
So we keep on changing. And as an actor, we try to change with the changing trends and we always on the move and try to keep people guessing what's going to happen next. And that gives us the energy to be fired up for different kinds of roles and different kinds of movies. So then romantic hero tag or maybe a different take on the romance, fall in love with the consent of your parents, and later on maybe it doesn't matter at all. People's ideas change, the views about their love, maybe their life changes,
Right.
keeps on changing, and we move on with the trend.
I don't think an Anyati Pravu would fly today, honestly. When people around me are all like, should we even marry? You know what I mean? It's more about that, right?
Even if you take films like Niram or
Yes.
even Premam to say
Yes.
so, or even Premalu, maybe after 10 or 15 years, those films might also feel like cringe.
But Bougainvillea, really, you pushed the envelope, Kunchacko. You were seen in a never seen before avatar. In fact, I think many people would have seen the movie, right? We can give the plot away a bit.
It's
So,
not such a real, suspense element.
yes. The thing is, he plays a very disturbed husband and also, with very, very criminal tendencies inside him. But he comes across as this gentleman. That's what I loved about your role. The fact that you seem like the ultimate husband at first. And then we realize you're really 50 Shades of Grey and more. So what was that like? Why did you say yes to the role?
Nowadays, if you see particularly about the Malayalam film industry, we have been giving movies which deal with subjects or ideas which are a bit daring, to say so. And all kinds of movies on different genres, whether you start with Brahma Yuga, to say so.
Yes.
It's a black and white movie,
Yes.
it's a horror movie.
It's a beautiful movie.
And it was done by a thespian, a legend. Then we had Premalu, a different take, entirely different take, a comic, rom-com thing, almost newcomers, new faces.
Yes.
Recent movie actors. Then we have R.D. Jeevitham, a survival thriller. Then there is Manjumal Boys. So you name it, we have that kind of movies, or Kadal, which had a very sensitive take on an idea of relationships and all.
Very true.
And you can see all the kind of actors, whether it's a junior, senior, contemporaries, everyone is trying their hands at trying something novel, something daring, different. And all the movies have been accepted by the audience, not only in theatres, not only in OTT, but in theatres as well.
Yes, they want something new.
And they want to have the theatrical experience of different things that's happening around them, or maybe experience a new idea in a theatrical experience mode. So Malayalam film industry, in that sense, is going through a golden era, to say so.
Yes.
And we are lucky. I mean, the present breed of actors are too lucky that we have such a kind of, different exciting ideas or different movies, and that platform which supports the theatrical platform, OTT platform, you name it, we have it. That kind of things give us the courage to try
Yes.
different things. And coming to Royce Thomas in Bougainvillea, for me, it was a different take and I had to do it. You always try to attempt to try out different characters and different movies. So when Royce came my way, I didn't have to think twice. Just go for it. And we have an Amal Neerad movie in my hand, and who want to miss that opportunity?
This is also a departure for Amal Neerad, who's known for style, right? Even the way he pours water, there's a bit of like side effects and like it's very stylized, the entire. This one was not so stylized. It was far more basic, far more like darker, right? I mean, he has darker characters, but it was not like you did not have a slow-mo shot, etc.
I had a slow-mo shot, but not
Just
at the
to,
beginning.
yes, there's one.
When the scenario changes, and
That's
we have
very
a-
little. For him, it's almost like zero.
Yeah.
But what was your take while you were doing it? Were you in a dark zone? Like I remember talking to actors who say after they reach, it becomes so difficult for them to snap out of it. Did you go back home a bit dark and disturbed?
Yeah, I did a movie called Aripo. While doing that movie, I was almost in that zone. It was too dark, too disturbing for me. We had shot in real locations in North India and all. While doing Bougainvillea, it was a fictional character, and it was a fictional take on a novel. Novel was too gory, but that we couldn't reciprocate the exact feel in the movies because
Yes.
it would have gone overboard.
Yes.
So we had to shave it a bit off and stylize it and soften it a bit.
Make it vanilla.
Not vanilla type, vanilla chocolate. Maybe.
Vanilla chocolate, definitely. It's quite disturbing. My friend who saw it was like, she couldn't sleep that night. And because I watch Criminal Minds, CSI, and all of those series at night, I'm very like desensitized. But it is still disturbing. For a Malayalam movie, I thought...
That's the exciting part because I was not disturbed during the character, but the people the audience who saw the movie was disturbed by the intensity of the characters or the storyline, and that matters more. Compare the Amal Neerad movies prior to Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea is, as you said earlier, a bit different from the kind of making. It has a kind of style,
Right.
but a style which in gel or interact with the storyline.
Right.
It doesn't go overboard or exaggeration, nothing like that. It has a storyline which can confuse people and make them think again and again. And there is the beginning shot where I am driving in a car and Jodi is sleeping with her head on my shoulders. And the reason why that shot is taken like that is explained in the very last scene. Why is it is so?
Yes.
So that's the kind of link that certain shots have, and you have to go back again and see why it was shot like that.
Yes.
Why the characters behaved like that. Why was the dialogue said like that. So all these intricacies were there, and I think this movie is one movie in which Amal Neerad had to be extra careful and you use extra brain.
Yes.
And in that way, he did a very clean job, a great job. That is why when people say that they get disturbed or they get the goosebumps when the character changes or some things like that, and that says the effect of the movie on the people.
That's true. And also the movie dealt with very serious themes, like child sexual abuse, violence against women, and just plain brutal killings, etc., which is very... Were you at any point telling Amal Neerad, let's not go overboard, because you also have an image to maintain maybe, or no? Or as an actor, you said you toned it down from the novel, which is far more gory and violent. Did you tell him maybe not to...
Because we knew that the novel couldn't be made in an exact
replica
matter for the theatre people, because then the censorship would have been too brutal on us. We had to mellow it down a bit so that in the family can come in and watch it, get entertained in a different manner, and understand what to do and not to do.
Right.
At a certain point, they have to think about that.
Right.
And if those points which we mentioned or dealt in the movie are being discussed, that proves how the movie has hit the target, target audience.
You know what I thought about the movie? At no point did your character be humanized too much that you kind of sympathize with him. Sometimes what happens in many movies is like you kind of start rooting for the bad person, the villain, etc. Here you still root for the woman, right? So do you think that's something that that you kept in mind as well? The idea is not to humanize somebody really like disturbed and terrible.
After watching the movie, it was the first instance where my family clapped when I was slapped. My mother didn't see that her son was getting beaten up, or my sister didn't see that her brother was being, the guy who was getting beaten up. She even clapped.
Yes.
So that tells how in what manner we wanted the character to be molded, or in which manner the film should be given to the audience. So in that sense, I think we hit the jackpot or hit the target precisely.
Right.
And that proves that all the bad things, or even if protagonist is playing the antagonist, it doesn't have always to be justified. That's the thing. You can be cranky, you can be mad.
No, but it's your childhood trauma that kind of led to it, right? I mean, there is an explanation as to why he became. He's not pure evil for the sake of being evil.
There is that, but we didn't go too much and we didn't dwell too much on that. He was, even then after that, had a fixation on his grandfather.
Would you call this your career's darkest film that you've done so far? I think you, right? You haven't gone this bad.
Not this bad.
Right, and you have a very, very nice face. Like you look like a guy who won't do harm to general people. You look like a regular
like
look,
some
right?
people, when they saw the movie, my friends who knows me inside out, they said that in the beginning there's an instance where I beat Jodi for another reason, for a genuine reason. So they thought, okay, and he will be the villain. But then I turned to be a very careful, caring husband,
yes,
very, consoling and sweet husband thing. And they said, okay, no, he won't be. Then again, when the character arc changes, so no, playing with the audience's mind, even for the people who knows me inside out, taking them for a ride, that gives me the thrills.
Yeah, of course. No, it was very interesting. It was one of the movies where you kept eternally guessing whether are you really the bad guy, because he seems like a good guy. In fact, even your climax scene that you just spoke about, where women kind of team up, I think that was quite empowering. It was so gratuitous to see you being beaten up, like your mom. I'm with her, totally. Like 3 women gang up, it's almost like that scene where she just gets up and she says,
Karma comes back to you. Like only after that it said that how many girls he had been, doing all the sort of.
So he had a pattern to his behavior.
And you don't have to justify him. How can you justify what all about the deeds he has done? There is no justification. So he has to face it. He has to bear it.
What was most scarier, dancing towards the end or killing people on screen?
Dancing towards the end, because
he breaks into a dance along with Jyotirma, and I was like, what?
That was a promo song which was shot after the entire movie was wrapped up, and but we wanted to place it in a niche way, which will cater to the Gen Z kids and all. Because the kind of dance, the kind of movements, choreo that we see now is entirely different from the kind of dance or movements which we had been doing.
True.
Especially me. People call me a dancer, I'm good in dance and all. But the kind of dance steps which I did for this movie is not at all my forte. So me and Jodi, she is an excellent dancer. But even then, we both had to start from scratch. We had to start from A, B, C, D. We started very slowly, taking all the steps, small steps.
All the hook steps.
Very slowly, then pace it up. Then at last we...
How long did you take to master those hook steps that have now become a viral meme and, it's going around in reels?
I have been in this industry for like 27 years. I've got so many hit songs to my credit, luckily. So many good dance numbers.
Yes, you do.
But this was the first instance where I had an opportunity to rehearse the dance steps. Otherwise, I would have been, like go straight to the location. I might be hearing the songs for the first time when I come to the location, learn the dance steps there,
On the
itself,
go.
rehearse it there, and do it on like that only. But this time we had an ample time, and we rehearsed for like 6 to 7 days.
It showed on the screen as well that you guys were all in sync. Not easy. With Jyotirmaya, I thought, what an interesting casting. Didn't see you guys together at all. Did you also tell Amal Neerad? And it's Amal Neerad's wife, okay?
Yeah,
It's nepotism at its best. But she's an amazing actress, so I have to give it to her. This is impossible. You can't deny her the body of work. She's good in the movie. But what did you tell? I mean, did you ask, Amal, really, your wife? Or what was your reaction when you realized?
She's back to the screen after almost a gap of 11 years.
Yes.
And we had actually done films together, and we did a dance program once, like 16 or 15 years back.
All right, okay.
That was it. But then, while doing this character, when Amal said that Jyoti is, going to do this character, I said, wow, that's something interesting. And I just wanted to see how he would, change her, do the makeover for her. After seeing the movie, we cannot see another person in her character. Jyoti's avatar is something which,
Yeah, she's
which
brilliant.
has been amazing, splendid, and she has done a very good job.
You also know that Malayalam cinema, we do the best movies ever when it comes to content, but there's also a lot of chatter about what's happening outside of it, on the movie sets, how are women treated, etc. How do you, as an actor who's been around for this long, perceive the chatter that's happening in that domain as well, where there is discrimination against women? What do you think reforms? Should there be reforms?
The thing is, I have been raised in a family in which I have seen very strong women in my life, starting from my grandmother, my mother, and even my wife. So I know how it is to have a strong woman by your side. I have been fortunate to be in movies in which so many heroines have made their comebacks, like even like Shalini. When Anita Prabhu was done, she was a child artist, so it was her first movie as a heroine.
Launchpad, yeah.
Then How Old Are You happened with Manju, and fortunately in Bougainvillea, Jyoti is coming back, making a comeback. These films are not intentional, it happens. And when I get excited by a movie, it doesn't matter whether it's a heroine oriented or I'm playing a good or a bad character, things like that. Shooting sets as well, I have a very good rapport with all my colleagues, co-actors, male or female, doesn't matter at all. And I don't know how people are treated outside my domain, like my area, outside my area of control. But if things have happened in a very bad manner, bad way, those persons, those guilty persons should be punished. There's no other question about it. Thing is that nowadays people come back and say so things simply like that.
Yeah, it's been tarnished.
Yeah.
The industry has been tarnished for sure.
That's too unfortunate. And certain people, like if they haven't done anything wrong and they have been, given a bad name.
Yes.
They suffer, their families suffer, their life suffer. And if it's not justified, then how will you balance that?
You as an actor, I think, have been very responsible when it comes to your kind of the way you perceive, because you're a role model. You can't say things. Do you think that as a public figure, you can't say things like Me Too is a fad and things like that? And people follow you, right? Do you feel as a sense of responsibility to say the right things?
You should. You should stand by the right things. If you are right, say it. Say it open. Say it right. Say it with a strong mind, strong voice. You will face pressures from different sides, but ultimately the truth will win. And you just go by that.
Right.
You don't have to, make up stories if you want to say a lie. You have to make up stories. You have to think what I say that time. Now, if I am saying the truth, I don't have to, brood too much or think too much or plan too much. I can just say what it is.
Kunchakko, you come from a producer family. Did that help you though? You can afford to be choosy, etc. In your movie choices are so different from usual actors, I feel. I don't know what you'll do next, which is an amazing thing.
It was not at all like that. Some maybe.
Really? You were just given romantic roles?
Yeah, it was like that only. Like from 97 to 2005, that was my first phase in the industry. and it was like all romantic films, all everything like a chocolate boy, boy next door, things like that. And I got bored. The audience got even more bored, and it was like that. My characters was not getting accepted. My films failed. The producers were, like blaming me and all.
You were written off, I
Yeah,
think,
said,
at some
okay,
point.
Fine, that's it, and pause. Then after that, after maybe 2 years of hiatus, I came back and I was starting from zero. I tried different kind of roles, small roles, cameo roles, extended cameo roles, supporting roles. All the roles were different. That mattered.
Yes.
I was trying my hand in different kinds of appearances, different kinds of roles, different kinds of movies. So whether my character was this or that, small or big, laid back or in the forefront, it didn't matter at all. I just wanted to be trying my hand in different kind of roles, different kind of characters and movies, which entertained people. And here I am in a golden phase of Malayalam industry where so many exciting and daring subjects and characters are happening.
Right.
And we, the actors, current actors, are having a very good time.
Right.
So we have to grab the opportunities before anyone else comes and grabs it. So it's that exciting phase in Malayalam industry that we are going through and enjoying it.
Right, I love it. Kunchacko, thank you so much for experimenting. You have really evolved, like you said, from Aniyati Pravu days to an Amal Neerad film where you're really a very, very, very brutally terrible person. There's absolutely no redemption for this man, really, in the movie.
Yeah,
But you did it, and people have accepted you. That's such a heartening thing, right?
That's what I said. The audience and people who knew me inside, my mother, 2 days back, she came from Muscat and I went to receive her. She saw the movie in Muscat. So when I went to receive her in the airport, the first thing that she said when she met me was, "Hey, my villain son." That's how she greeted me.
She's enjoying your face, and I think your family too. But you've done so well, and you've entertained us. And thing has never stopped to surprise us. Thank you so much for entertaining us.